pressure heats up in the Premier League as there are only 8 games remaining, and this week we can win $50,000. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. That's right, we're on the match week 31 here in the Premier League, and with that, we can win $50,000 if we can correctly predict all 5 games over on the NBC Sports Predictor app. They give you 5 games. You got to correctly get the correct score and result for all 5 games. If you do so, you can take home that $50,000. If nobody can do it, they'll still give away a guaranteed $1,000 prize group. People that can get the most points. You get 4 points if you get the result right, and 10 points if you can get that correct score right, and that's how you accumulate points. Last week we did really good. We got 3 of the 5 games right, but not only did we get 3 of the 5 games right, we got 2 correct scores right for a total of 24 points. So I'll take that. That's a good result. Not good enough, though, to cash and get some money, so we look to improve, and that's what we'll do this week. With that being said, let's jump on into these first games, or to the first game. All right, so the first one here is Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. I guess the best way to describe Palace would just be pesky Palace, and that's kind of what Palace is, right? They're not a good offensive team. They're not a good defensive team. Their games are generally kind of boring to watch and not a lot of excitement, but they're just pesky. I mean, look what they did Monday night against Everton. They thought they competed actually really, relatively well against Everton, but, they pesky, they hung around, and then they were able to get a late goal and snatch a point out of that fixture. So, yeah, that's the best way to describe Palace that I know of. Just a good old pesky Palace. Meanwhile, for Chelsea, look, don't let last week's result against West Brom fool you, right? They were in control of that game. They were winning 1-0, and then Thiago Silva, for whatever reason, decided international break wasn't long enough for him, and he needed more of a break time, and just got 2 sloppy yellow cards. The second one was just bad, coming in with a really terrible sliding tackle outside of the penalty area, pick up his second yellow. And then it was all West Brom. I mean, Chelsea just, uncharacteristically just completely folded and let West Brom go ahead and snatch the win there. But, I mean, look what Chelsea did in midweek in Champions League. They bounced right back. Not only did they bounce back, but they've been doing what Chelsea's been doing over Thomas Tuchel, which is clean sheets. And they got a nice 2-0 clean sheet victory up over Porto. That's the Chelsea team I'm expecting. If they keep all 11 men on the pitch, there's no reason to suggest that Chelsea can't win, and Chelsea can also keep a clean sheet. So give me that clean sheet. Give me Chelsea winning this game 2-0. The next matchup we got here is West Ham versus Leicester. I think this is going to be a really great, fascinating game. This is a real top 4 battle as both of these clubs look to, get European football, but more European football. Both of these clubs want Champions League next season. So, yeah, just a good top 4 battle we've got here. West Ham, they're full of confidence. If you look at their form based on home form, they'd be second on the table. And if you look at Leicester on away form, they would be second on the table. So yeah, two just pretty good, evenly matched teams here. West Ham at home, they've scored 26 goals and conceded only 18 in 15 games. And Leicester really good on the road as well. They've only conceded 13 goals in 15 games, while they've scored 28 goals in those 15 games. So I'm just expecting a real cagey battle against 2 teams that want to be in Champions League next season. They're not going to try and give up a whole lot. They may not be too aggressive on the other one. It's just going to be real cagey as the race for European football heats up here in this battle. Go ahead and give me a 1-1 draw there in North London. All right, next matchup we got here is Tottenham versus Manchester United. Look, Manchester United's flying high, right? They had 3 straight 0-0 draws not too long ago, but since then, they're flying pretty high. They've got a 2-0 win over City. They got a 1-0 win over West Ham. They got a 2-1 win over Brighton after the international break. They bounced AC Milan from Europa League, and they actually went to San Siro and got a victory there at San Siro, so that was impressive. And then they're coming off a Thursday night performance there, going to Spain, going to play Granada in Europa League, and getting a nice 2-0 clean sheet there. Their only slip-up in this recent stretch was getting bounced from the FA Cup against Leicester, but other than that, it's been really a good United performance, generally game in and game out, and getting positive results and getting 3 points. The games are coming hot and heavy for United, but that doesn't matter. When you're playing well and you're getting points and you're getting results, it doesn't matter how often the games come. It doesn't really affect you guys that much. Meanwhile, Tottenham, their form kind of blah, I guess. I mean, a 2-2 draw to Newcastle, that one would come on the heels of international break. So you can kind of understand why it happened, but it's still unacceptable to let Newcastle get 2 goals and let Newcastle get one of those goals really late and get a draw on that one. They were dropped from Europa League by Dynamo. They had a nice 2-0 advantage going on after the first leg, and they let Dynamo go ahead and beat them 3-2 and get them from there. They were embarrassed by Arsenal recently. They had a really, really bad performance by Tottenham. And then also in this current stretch here, they were able to beat Aston Villa 2-0. So yeah, just a kind of a blah form for them. They do get Son back. Son returned there against the Newcastle game, so that's big. I mean, Son is everything, right? Once you pair up Son with Harry Kane across the top, you've got probably the best duo there in all the Premier League likely. So yeah, Son being back is everything. But that being said, I mean, let's be honest. United is the better team. They are the better team up over Tottenham. It's just a matter of can they get 3 points. I think if they can get 3 points, you're looking at a 1-0 or a 2-1 game is probably more than likely how this one unfolds. The last 5 head-to-heads have had 2 wins for each club and 1 draw. The most recent game was a 6-1 Spurs win, but don't let that fool you. That's skewed by a red card. Up until the red card, it was competitive. The Spurs were winning up until that point. It was a 2-1 Spurs win, but yeah, once Anthony Martial got that red card, it was all Spurs from there. So yeah, don't let that 6-1 beatdown, kind of get in your head there. That one's definitely skewed by a red card. And last week in United, we went with a 2-1 win over Brighton. Let's go ahead and run that back. Let's run back a United 2-1 win. That's how I see this one unfolding. Oh, man. Next matchup we got here is Sheffield United versus Arsenal. Look, Sheffield's so bad. They've lost 4 straight, and they've lost 8 out of their last 10 games, doing really poor. In 30 matches this season, they have 17 goals. That is absolutely pathetic. I don't know how you pick Sheffield to really get anything from this game. I don't know how you pick them to win. I don't know how you pick them to even get a draw if they've only scored 17 goals in 30 matches and they're on that terrible losing streak, like I said. And it's gotten even worse since they fired their manager, Chris Wilder. So, meanwhile, for Arsenal, shaky in Europa League midweek. I mean, to be honest, they got a 1-1 draw against Prague, and maybe was going to be 1-0, but then they did let Prague get a late goal. How does Noah Bungyang not start in that game? What is Arteta doing? I mean, I understand Bungyang had the disciplinary issue there not too long ago, so they benched him recently for a league game, but I haven't heard of any new disciplinary issue. I'm not sure why probably their best player is not playing in their biggest game until he comes off the bench until the 80th minute midweek in Europa League. So that was definitely a head scratcher for me. I assume a Bungyang's gonna play. I mean, you can't freeze him from the squad like you did a Mesut Ozil. You have to get your best player on the pitch. I mean, this is your best player. So, yeah, I don't know what happened there in midweek in Europa League. Arsenal in their recent form, I think they were lucky against West Ham. That game ended up being 3-3, but they got 2 own goals, and one of those own goals by West Ham was just really sloppy there by Dawson, smacking the ball in the back of his net. So I thought they were really lucky in that 3-3 draw there. Arsenal's won the last 2 head-to-heads against Sheffield United. Both of them were 2-1 results. The last 3 have seen both teams score. So because of that, I'll say Sheffield is able to get one in the back of the net. But Arsenal will snatch up all 3 points. It'll be an Arsenal 3-1 win despite their form being shaky. This is Sheffield United, and Arsenal's going to beat Sheffield. So give me a 3-1 win there for Arsenal. And then the last game we got here is Brighton versus Everton. Look, Brighton continue to look good. I mean, even in losing, which is what they did last time against Manchester United, Brighton looks good. They're a fun club to watch. They're attacking in their football. They're ambitious. They're trying to put it on the opponent in terms of putting the pressure on them and making them feel uncomfortable. So yeah, I've enjoyed watching Brighton so far this campaign, and even when they lose, they're generally a good team to watch. And with this fixture being at home, I think they will be able to get on the score sheet. I think they'll have multiple spells where they're good, and I think they'll be able to convert at least one of those spells into a goal. So like that there. For Everton, James is back, and kind of like what we said about Son there for Tottenham, James is everything for Everton. I know they were doing relatively good without James, but with James, they're going to be a better team. They have more attacking prowess in them. They have more creativity. So Everton, obviously, we mentioned not too long ago, we were talking about Palace. They did let a bad result slip against Palace. They had all 3 points, and then, they let Palace go ahead and snatch a late goal there. I don't expect them to go ahead and, fall apart late in this fixture there. But before that Palace draw, though, they did have 2 losses. So maybe not a club that has the greatest form currently right now. Again, looking forward to this game. The last 5 head-to-heads have had 3 Everton wins and 2 Brighton wins, with the home team winning each time. I think that trend, though, go ahead and breaks today. I think Everton is going to win 2-1 as they continue their push for European football next season. Yeah, go ahead and give me that Everton 2-1 win. They won't fall apart late in this game. They'll hold off a late Brighton attack, and they'll secure that 2-1 victory. All right, guys, that's how I'm going to do it this week. For a chance to win $50,000 over on the NBC Sports Predictor app, hit that like button if I've been of help to you. And as always, good luck with your picks. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.